guys, welcome to J-Pop Music. Be sure to like and subscribe here on the channel. Hit the notification bell so you know when they're coming out. And also, this is heads up, J-Pop Music does 2 other podcasts, or technically 3. I have the Music Buds podcast, BUDDS, sorry, burping there, BUDDS, the Music Buds podcast. There are some videos on YouTube, but there's a bunch of audio episodes since it started that way, so check that out. I co-host that with Preston Budd, who started the podcast. I do also a video game podcast that I co-host with Arthur Thomas, the Gamers for Life podcast, the number 4, the Gamers for Life podcast. Really fun. We have a YouTube channel as well that we're growing. And lastly, the 440 Guitar Podcast. I am the host and founder of that one individually, and have interviewed a lot of cool people. So be sure to check all those out. If you, if you like games, you really like guitar, or if you like hip hop or R&B, you get the Music Buds podcast. Speaking of hip hop and R&B, on the J-Pal Music, J-Pal Music channel that you are watching at the moment, I wanted to create my own platform because I like all variety genres of music, rock, alternative, hip hop, world music, just various genres, right? And I wanted to go into 10 underrated hip hop albums that aren't necessarily brought up in the masses, that aren't brought up really today. They're not super old. I mean, comparatively, they're not super old. But to me, it struck a chord with me significantly, in a positive manner, finding out this great music. And then there's some albums that you probably have heard of, but I feel like they deserve more credit than they get. I feel like today there's so much music that comes out, you hear, oh yeah, that's a good album. And then you don't hear about it again until maybe the end of the year if you're trying to put it in like a ranking list or something like that. These aren't ranked, by the way. These are not ranked, by the way. This is just specifically 10 underrated hip-hop albums. I'll probably have this be volume 1 just because obviously there's a lot of hip-hop albums. So I'm going to start with this one. Now, if you guys are a fan of great rappers, great lyricists, and especially female lyricists as well, which you should feel like it shouldn't matter what gender they are. But Jean Grae, phenomenal rapper. Her album Attack of the Attacking Things, I believe it's her first album, if I'm not mistaken. This album's incredible. It's really good. It's really, really good. Just from the vibe of the musicality, her lyrics are really good. The song Love Song, it's not only a tragic but a classic and just beautifully written song. She really shows her stuff on this, her skills. So a great album. It's a little hard to find. I don't think it's on streaming services, so you probably have to get you might have to get the CD, or it might be on SoundCloud somewhere. It might be on iTunes. You can try checking it on iTunes. Attack of the Attacking Things, Jean Grae. It's a classic album. Highly recommend it. I don't think it's brought up enough, especially amongst, especially when we're talking about female rappers and their catalog. That's a great album, and it should always be mentioned. The next one, Mos Def, The New Danger. Now, this is kind of a wild album, a little bit, right? Because from a sonic standpoint, he tries a lot of different sounds, especially like rock-ish edge sounds. He does a really cool spin off of some Marvin Gaye What's Going On samples. He even does kind of like he implies a concept within what Marvin Gaye is talking about and makes a song based off of, hey, I'll tell you what's going on. You know what I mean? It's a great album. To me, it's classic. It's my favorite Mos Def album. Sorry, plane's flying by. It's my favorite Mos Def album. It's different, but it's still hip hop. You know what I mean? It's still hip hop, and he really gets in his bag. I think to me, there's this one, and then there's Black on Both Sides. I'm pretty sure most people would say probably Black on Both Sides, but I just love The New Danger, and I think it deserves more credit than it gets. He just really diversifies himself as an artist. Mos Def, who's now is Yasin Bey, but I'm just referring to his older name, previous name. But yeah, Mos Def, The New Danger. Great. The next album, Ken Starr, Starr Status, Ken Starr, Starr. This is a really dope album that I feel kind of gets overlooked. It's kind of undergroundish, but there's some great producers on here. Kev Brown being one, Crisis being another, and I'm sure a few others as well. But it's a really solid project. And Ken Starr, I mean, unfortunately, I don't think he really makes music anymore. But he was a really dope lyricist, had really good bars. Kind of reminded me of like a younger Fabulous, younger Fab. But really good. Some really great tracks. Talib Kweli features on one of the songs. Odyssey features on another part of the songs. But really dope. If you just want really dope vibes, some dope bars, check it out. Check it out. Ken Starr, Starr Status. The next one is one of my favorite albums, and I listened to this growing up. I'm not super old, so, you find what you find, right? But I listened to this growing up, middle school, high school, and I forgot how I came across this project because I was getting into underground hip hop a lot in high school, and I came across this project and I fell in love with it. But it's Omega Watts The Find. This is a classic album to me, absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. Just from the production of the album, it just has such a classic old school hip hop underground vibe, but the lyricism is really good. I feel like certain rappers are kind of chasing this sound now. I mean, I think one of the most impressive things about it is in fact the production. I think the production is amazing. It's really, really good. And it just really, and to me, it's very unique as well. I don't think there's a lot of albums that sound like this. So, again, I highly recommend it. I think it's a really dope album. Omega Watts The Find. Good luck finding it. It might be on Spotify. It might be on Apple Music. Give it a shot. If it's not, try iTunes. But give it a listen. Omega Watts The Find. It's a really dope project. The next one is an album that you've heard of. You probably blocked it out of your memory because there's a million albums out and everything. But we should never forget Talib Kweli's Reflection Eternal. That is a classic album, definitely. And him and High Tech, I feel like that is where they really connected, where things really fell into place. Just from the theme, the vibes. Obviously High Tech's production is A1, and Talib Kweli's lyricism is A1 as well. There's just a really nice marriage between the two as far as stylistically, and just thematically. So great project, really great. Again, Talib Kweli, Reflection Eternal. It should be brought up more in conversations. It really should. The next project is by Common. Now, obviously, like Water for Chocolate is a classic album. And it deserves all the credit that it deserves, especially since it won a Grammy. Even though you guys know how I feel about Grammys from the last, from that episode clip, on the channel. But, nevertheless, there's another album that I think is very, very good. I wouldn't consider it a classic, but I would consider it a very, very good album. That I feel like it's underrated and overlooked. Finding Forever. I feel like that was the last really good recent project that Common has made. I need to check out his recent stuff. I haven't checked it out, the part 1 and part 2 of those albums that it recently came out with. If anyone has checked those out, let me know in the comments how you like it. Unfortunately, I've had the chance to check it out, but I know the 2 albums before that, they were okay. They're pretty good. I just kind of wish they were a little better. I wish I liked them more. But Finding Forever is great. Very, very good. From top to bottom, it's just a really solid project, a really great lyricism, great music. Music sounds good. But yeah, Finding Forever, I think is probably one of his better late projects that he's come out with after like Water for Chocolate. A lot of people like B. I think B is overrated, honestly, the album B. I think it sounds pretty good. Just some good stuff on it. Kanye, obviously Kanye produces a lot of it. I don't know if he produced all of it, but I think it's overrated. But in this one, I think Finding Forever is better than B. I'll just say that. The next album, Unexpected Guests by MF Doom. This is such a good project, and I don't know if it would be constituted as an album because it just might be a bunch of deep cuts put together. So forgive me if that is in fact the case. But this is a great album. It's so good. A lot of great stuff on there. Different producers. Jay Dilla does some producing on it. But just really, just great stuff. You know, this is one of my favorite projects that hearing MF Doom rap. So, but yeah, Unexpected Guests by Doom. Recommend it. The next one, it could be argued that this isn't a hip hop album, but I would say it is, especially because anything that Black Thought does, or just when I think of Black Thought, I think of hip hop. I'll say that. But How I Got Over, I think this is a classic album, and I try not to say that word often, but I'm naming albums that are classics. What do you want me to do, man? How I Got Over is such an incredibly great. It's such a great album. You know, the music is excellent. Black Thought is on point with his rhymes. And I feel like How I Got Over, strangely enough, really fit thematically within the past 2 years. If you listen to How I Got Over today, you'll be like, wow, this really fits in line with what's been going on as far as just how people have been feeling things like that. So if you don't believe me, check it out. I was like, wow, this really fits into place. How I Got Over, great album, amazing album. Not enough I can say about it. The second to last here, the 10 underrated hip hop albums, Oddisee, Oddisee, his album, The Good Fight. Holy shit, this album's great. This is a great album. Is it a classic? Maybe, but it's such a solid project just from a beat perspective. And I know he makes his own beats, so he might have produced this album. I'm not 100% certain, but Oddisee is incredibly talented. He's a great lyricist, a great producer. And this is such a good fucking project. I forgot how I got connected with him. It might have been from Talib Kweli or Ken Starr, since he featured in, you know, those. He featured on the Ken Starr project. But The Good Fight, Oddisee, great album. Please check it out. If you're a hip hop fan. Please check that out. And then the last one here, last but not least, Pharoah Monch's album, Post Traumatic Stress Disorder. Whew. I'm a huge Pharoah Monch fan. He is arguably my favorite. He might be my favorite lyricist. He might be my favorite rapper. He's definitely top 3 for me. And I'll probably have a separate video for that. And I think it will be ranked just to kind of make people think. But he's definitely one of my favorite rappers. And this project is great. To me, it's his best. Before 13, you know, the band that he's part of 13 for the album Great Day for an Exorcism, we will get into that album. I want to get into that album, a deep cut of that album. I want to, not deep cut, but I want to go in depth on that album. One of the videos, I have to prepare for it. But this is a great project. There's so many good songs on this. Lyricism is on point. I want to say there's a song called The Rapid Eye Movement with Black Thought, and him and Black Thought are just fucking going crazy, man. It's top tier A1 bars and rhymes, and it's just like you're getting the cream of the crop. You really are, and it's just such a great project. You know, just from a thematic basis, the production is really dope and very much a Pharoah Monch project. And Pharoah Monch brings the heat, and yeah, I think this is probably a modern classic. I would say. Post Traumatic Stress Disorder is a very, very good album. It's excellent. So that's it. So those are the 10 hip hop albums that I feel like are definitely underrated and not brought up enough in conversation, in my opinion. And I'll probably have many more lists here of just the 10 underrated hip hop albums unranked. I might have some ranked ones just to freak people out. But yeah, so I wanted to do that. And yeah, thanks for checking out J Powell Music again. Be sure to like and subscribe here in the channel if you're a fan. And obviously sound off into the comments. If you're a fan of music, sound off in the comments on what you think about these albums. Have you listened to them? Are you planning on checking them out? What did you like about them? What did you not like about them? Yeah, let's have the conversation. That's what music's all about. Opinions, subjectiveness, and just having fun, enjoying music in general. But thanks for watching.